all you need to do is sign up with the link below.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, guys. There we go.
Morning, Hayden.
Morning. Oh, camera. All right. Price looks. Good morning. Good morning. Price looks to be retesting the H1 bearish FVG from 15,383 to 15,283. Waiting for rejection in that area. However, there's H4 bullish FVG at around 15,261. So distance is quite tight. Yeah. All right, let's have a little peek. What's going on? Happy Friday, everyone. So we made it to the end of the week. Missed all your good posts. Oh, you did you, Marin? Damn. Yeah, that kind of saved me. So let's have a little look what we've got on the agenda today. Okay, so we'll check out Forex Factory first. So we had pound GDP come in, all positive for once. Gosh, they've been struggling a bit. So anyway, that's good news for UK. Nothing really. It's been kind of that kind of crappy week where we've got no news, which is just means like the manipulation is they've got to generate liquidity, which is a real pain in the bum to try and navigate sometimes. So you really got to look for your good zones and then just wait for your high quality setups. And when you don't have news tends to price tends to move before news. So when you have news and you can interpret it, you can have a clearer bias because you know price will sort of price it in and move before the news, which leads to that volatility. When you don't have that news, price has to do its own little funny business. So I like it when there's news. When there's a week of no news, as well as to the start of the week, I was like, man, this is kind of going to be a tricky week to navigate because of where we are in the whole price scheme, and then just not really having any sort of catalyst, no cat amongst the pigeons, so to speak. Next week though, we've got some CPI on Tuesday, we've got PPI on Wednesday, we've got retail sales, we've got Aussie employment, you've got US unemployment on Thursday, Friday got nothing. So, and hopefully they schedule some Fed speakers in, but this week it was kind of a crappy week. So, nothing really. What about overnight? Anything happen? The autumn statement will focus on how we get the economy growing healthily again, unlocking investment by Chancellor Hunt. Okay, so this is the UK GDP. We've got Asia. Yeah, finally, man. Jerome Powell warning interest rates could need to rise further. Finally saw that little decline. But I had to wait for Powell to come in and sort of backtrack. What do you say? They didn't say anything. Anyway, didn't say anything in the press conference for FOMC. And then his Fed speakers were like just wish-washing all over the place. But it's clear that they're going to have to go higher. They will have to go higher. The deficit's insane. No one's really looking at the... looks like Rob's on the move. He's having a little Chianti and some pizza.
Sorry, mate.
It's all good, mate. So I really think they're going to have to go up. So they're going to start potentially either pricing in higher rate or pricing in a longer hold. So with that, if we do see, if we do see that coming in, then we should start to see a little bit of a sell-off. However, everything's very bullish right now. Oh yeah, Biden won't want higher rates. No one wants higher rates coming to an election year. That's the problem. That's the problem with that. To save their bacon, no one wants to let that reset happen, which is pretty important. Seems to be pretty important. Like it's a pretty natural part of the business cycle for recessions to happen, to kind of like reset prices and bring them back into like a bit of normality. But no one seems to, the way that everyone needs to like sort of save their job is on growth and expansion. And it's not really, there's not a politician strong enough that's popular enough and strong enough that will do what needs to be done, because there's no way they'll get elected. Imagine someone's promised that I'm going to crash the economy to reset prices because this is what we need. No one will vote for that person. Anyway, we're not going to talk about politics, but the stock market is not the economy. That's an important thing for everyone to note as well. It's not the economy. Okay, so starting at the higher time frame, we're coming to the end of the week. So looking at this weekly candle, it's still kind of scary. Like, this is what I'm saying, like price, I know price has been going up for a long time, and we came down into this liquidity wick, and we've seen this bounce, and price is now pushing up into these like really wicky areas, and we're inside of this doji candle here. So I can imagine that we still keep on going up. Oh, hey, Hen, what did you mean about the deficit? The debt that they're in. So just the debt repayments, it's getting absolutely insane. Like for them to service that debt, and to be honest, higher rates will mean higher debt as well for debt repayments. So it's a really tricky area for them to navigate. They need to grow the economy and also be able to try run off the balance sheet. But they've got to slow spending for sure. So we'll talk about that later in fundamentals. Yeah, he is in the tricky spot. Yeah, and it's not really his fault as well. This has been going for years and years and years. Okay, so daily, so weekly come to a close. We're being such a bullish week. Such a bullish week in terms of like not it's not the biggest moves that we've seen, but it's just been like up and up and up and up, and I never got that sell that I wanted, which kind of hurt my bias yesterday. I'm just going to admit that yesterday my bias was trash. Okay, now on the daily, we had no bottom wick. Okay, Someone asked a question yesterday, when was the last time we had a daily candle, no bottom wick? And I said it's not too long ago. It was only last week. We had a day like that. So we do get them. We do get them. But normally, like if you come into the charts planning today, I'm going to trade with no bottom wick, then you're more than likely going to be on the wrong side of that, because the vast majority have a top and a bottom wick. You know, the vast majority. There are times that they definitely don't, but you can't come into the day planning unless there's a real fundamental reason that you're looking for just growth or drops. You're better off planning. Morning, mate. You're better off planning that there's going to be a bit of a bottom wick. Okay, so the daily's already done a little bit of a bottom wick. Now, can we do a bit of a wick fill up here? That's the question. Or are we actually going to come back and take that bottom wick? So I'm kind of planning to see some downside at some stage, but I need to be very careful because my bias has not been very good lately. Let's look at the 12 hour. 12 hour, not too much. Let's go to the 8 hour. 8 hour down here. There's that bottom wick. Okay, we know when we're coming to London, does everyone remember what's the normal range for London session? What's your normal range? London and New York, to be honest, for German 40?
Yeah, 100 pips or so.
Yeah, morning Adam. Oh, thanks Glenn. Yeah, appreciate that guys. Yeah, while you're out there, give the streams a big thumb up. That will really help.
100 to 120 pips.
Yeah. So we've got only a little bit of time, but let's just do a little, like, just show some people that are sort of new to the stream. Okay, if we're looking at German 40, this is German 40. This is just a 30-minute chart, and we're kind of looking at this London sessions. Okay, so if I went and drew a box, if I draw a box and I say I draw it over this one, okay. Now this what follow the blue one, okay. We're gonna. This is a normal, like you see how this one, this range is a bit bigger. This one fairly normal size. This one pretty much fits over the top of it. We did have a really crappy, very low volume London session. Then we had this one, sort of fits around the same area. This one here sort of sits on top of it. So you can see, like, often, let me just bring up more. Let's go all the way over here. And the same thing. Same, oh, don't want to resize it. Okay, more or less fits over the top. Had a bit more volatility on this day. This one here, a little bit more volatility. Okay, fits over the top, fits over the top. And this is, the size of this one is 1485. So this is exactly 100 pips, this box. And I say the range, most of the time, is going to be somewhere between like 100 and 120. So 120 is the average. The actual average, if you take all the data, is 122 pips. That's your typical range that you're looking at. Okay, then if you look inside the London session, often you get like wick ups and you get like little reactions at either side. So if we know that London session is going to start in 6 minutes, okay, so, and we can more or less anticipate that we're going to get a box London open before New York gets involved, will be something around this size. So if we're going to open here, maybe it's going to be up this high, maybe it's going to be this low. So when you're looking to see, like, we want to see which kind of direction it is, and it could wick up and then start falling down and like be like somewhere like this. This is always possible, but we're kind of just, what I'm looking at initially is just to see, like, well, if it just goes up 120 pips or down 120 pips from the open, where are my zones of interest that I could be looking at near the tops and near the bottom? And I would say, like, you know, New York low down here is going to be, you're getting towards the end of the range. If it just drops, and we've got some rejection wicks over here So already I'm going to be thinking an idea if we do get to like 15,160. So I've got an alert there. I'm going to be thinking if we get to this structure, this blue box up the top here, if we get up to 15,380 as well. So I've got an alert there too. So these, I've already got two ideas to see like if we just push up and up and up with no pullback, then I'll look for price action to show me maybe I can get a correction. Or if it goes down, 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 down with no pullback, look, I can then look for a bit of a correction. And when I say correction, I'm just looking for like, say, anywhere between 20, 30, 40 pips. Okay. Now, ideally, we would be trading up to these areas or down to these areas. So we need to use a reference candle, and that's going to be this candle, really, to see like how bullish or bearish this next 4 minutes. It's looking like it's going to close the doji, so it's not really giving me any indication of which direction. But in terms of like zones and range for this session, I've kind of got my ideas already set. Okay, that all makes sense. Now, how it forms, of course, we know it's going to be very different. We know we're going to get usually a liquidity grab at the start, and then prices can move up. So where could that be? We know we've got Asian session low here, and ideally we do something like this. That's what I'd love to see today. So I want to be able to try and anticipate how, because I just feel there's so much liquidity left underneath, and maybe I'm wrong trying to hold on to this little bias, but I think I feel uncomfortable buying something that has got so much liquidity to the downside. If it just pushes straight up, I will plan sells from up here, but to be actually honest with the way that this open's going to go, I feel like I'm in a bit of no man's land, because I've got like a support down here, Asian low. I've got the middle of this little accumulation area, and I actually would like to see it. If we actually had closed above here and we're pushing up, I'd say, look, let's just take it to the high, because that'd make a lot of sense. But we did actually have, this is, I feel like very unlikely that this will just be a clean move. So if we can push up, let's have a look at the hour. The hour, we do have a little bit of structure here, okay? So, can we push up into this like 300 area and then start to reject? Problem is we're a clean candle at that stage, but we've got a no wick candle, so that could be imbalance. If we can actually hold above here and then do a little pullback and then start breaking these highs again, then I'll say once we're pushed up, had a little pullback, and then breaking above, then we look to target these highs at least to this area. And I think this is a very tradable. I think this is a very tradable zone from like 15,290 to 15,330. So that's like a 40 pip zone. But we need to see price sort of break, close above, come back, pull back, create little rejection wicks, and then push up. I think that could be a sound idea. But we need to see what this is going to happen first. This idea was for yesterday. That one's done. Trading above the daily high. This is a liquidity wick on the 4 hour. Okay, this liquidity wick. So trading into this wick, trading above it, I really think we can get a nice reaction from here. So these are my two ideas that I've got. If we just push, potentially for NYSE, I would say that these are rejection areas. Okay, and then of course this one down here, I really think this will be a decent reaction from the base of this clean candle. But when we're in the middle of this little bit, it can be a little bit, here's the open now. So let's keep an eye on this. 30-minute closers didn't give me any information. No information whatsoever, this 30-minute candle. Huge bullish candle, then a little pause. We've got no wicks up here. So I'm going to wait to see if we can actually close above this area or reject. And if we can show some rejections and then start pushing down then I'll look to trade to the Asian low and below. So is this NQ? What's NQ? Okay, let's watch and see what this does. Sorry, Roland 20. What's NQ? I'm not sure what you mean. Oh, Nasdaq future. Oh, thanks, Mo. Nah, this is German 40, mate. But it'll be pretty correlated with Nasdaq. Okay, come on. I want to see, I'm not really entertaining anything. I want to see what it does at the top of this little green box around this 15,300 area. Okay, so pretty wild little open. First like 2 minutes, no bottom wick, just push straight up 25 pips. What do you guys think? You guys got your own little ideas going on?
You got that? Probably 7 minutes. No, you've already got the zone marked out. Sorry. I was about to point something out, but you already got it.
Right. At the 30-minute, MM's pointing out the 30-minute FVG. Not yet, just sat down. Yeah. So let's see. For USM No Man's Land, waiting to clear. Yeah, that's the same. I felt like it was a bit of, I really wasn't sure, up or down for this open. Many wanted to get in for the buys, but 300 is near. Yeah. I mean, even on the 30-minute, I don't really see a lot when it just came down. Little stop at the close of the day, little gap. And then we had the Asian session. Then we had push back up. So I know there's a sell coming. That's the thing. I know there's going to be some decline today because we haven't really had a decline. So I don't want to like be chasing these buys. 2 a.m. over here, trying to catch a bid on NQ, but chicken out. Guess I'm sleepy. Oh, you're in the US, are you? All right. Just gotta be patient on this one. All right. So 300, so I reckon we've taken a fair bit of liquidity. No wick candles right over here. So can we start getting some rejection wicks? Nope, in the last little second. Felt like this has been happening a fair bit. It's literally the last little bit of the candle, because there's been a couple on the 30-minute as well for pre-London, when it was looking like a doji for all money, and in the last like minute or 3 minutes, it actually flicked up and it closed like yesterday's one. Yesterday's was looking for a doji for all money, and then the last little couple minutes of the candle pushed up and actually now looks bullish. And if I was looking at that, I'd be thinking, oh, buys make sense. But when I'm watching it, I'm kind of set. I'm thinking, oh, 757, 758 UK time. I'm like, doji, no real bias. Then it flicks up. Then I'm already set. Okay. What would also be nice if we can get like something that shows like a bit of a range, like rejections from the top side, rejections from the bottom side, and then something closing. Then it'll be like, still wasn't taking volume and balance candle on 15-minute. Yeah, so I was looking at. And yesterday was a pain, man. Like being twice was up 20 pips, and they came back and just straight away break even. Then up again 20 pips, straight away break even. So this week I've literally, this prop account has made no ground. Okay. Anyone else? What are you guys thinking? I'm keen for it to push up into this. If it can just drive straight up, towards what I'd actually be hunting would be, say, right in the middle of this 4-hour wick, where this green and red box intersect, and this could be like that coffee trade reaction from here. Having no top wick, no bottom wick. I know price is coming back here. There's no way that London will leave no bottom wick, especially when you've got Asian, Euro, London all pushing bullish, there's going to be a sell at some stage to extend this London low. That's the one I really want to catch.
None of the sessions lows have been taken
Yeah,
in today.
yeah. Yesterday did the same
Pretty
sort of
London.
thing. We had Asian low left, Euro low left, but London, the difference here, London is London opened up here. This is where London opened, and then it pushed down, and then it rose. So London here has opened, gone straight up. So we've left no bottom wick on London session. So there's a definite, like the chances of this not, the chances of it not creating a bottom wick are very, very slim. So the further we can get away from this area, the easier the more room, the more profit potential there is for price to come down. So just got to time it. So there's a lot of momentum at the moment, a lot of bullish momentum. Wait for it to slow. Let's see if we can catch that little sell.
Yesterday's London high was the New York 50%.
Yeah, that lines up with structure as well. So I probably should put a box around that, shouldn't I? But this area was tricky. I was where this is the sell we got in the idea, and it was just testing, ripped up higher, little ceasefire, sort of more humanitarian aid getting into the Gaza Strip, and then we finally saw power come in and start talking about like more restrictive rate potential. We saw the drop off, but if price can push up, we need to put something that can line up. If price can push up into this little zone as well, and we see manipulation, I'd be keen for that. Hey Tom, how are you, mate? Problem is now my boxes are starting to get the colors are getting too similar here. For that area, let me make that a black. I think I'll get rid of this blue box for now. Oh. There we go. So I want to see if it can pull liquidity from in here. This 5-minute candle's looking nice. Potential nice close. Let's wait, got 1 more minute for it. Alright, this might just drop without. Do I want to give it a shot now? I think it's. I'd rather wait for a pullback now, because if I take a sell on here, I'll get a crappy price, and then spread plus spread. Damn it. I'll tell you what happened on the prop account last night as well. Not last night, yesterday in a trade, which makes a lot of sense. I need to take that into consideration next time. Were you going to say something, Mo?
Yeah, your 15's just closed now. I expected a bigger top wick.
Well, it's a rejection wick still. Oh, not like from the rejection for the body, but it's still, it pulled liquidity from above here, which is what we wanted.
Yeah, 15,300.
Now I want to see I want to see some pause, and I want to see this wick retested. And as something can wick up and then start breaking this low, then I'd say there's manipulation's been in. 2 rejection wicks, and as it's flipping, can look for it to retest this low and potentially further. But I don't want to sell the low here. No way. Okay, so we all know that prop accounts are like usually you're trading the demo. Well, we know you're trading demo accounts. I was in a trade, and as it was pushing down, price had pushed down. It was pushing down alright, and the candle closed with no bottom wick. And then as it started pushing up, I thought, oh, I think that was enough because it was getting pretty close to where I wanted it. I closed the trade, and you know how it puts in that little arrow. So the trade ended up being something like the candle was pushing up, and I closed it, and it closed it here.
Yeah.
And then I saw the next 10 seconds, the candle went all the way up, and then stopped there, and then came down. So it was like around 8 pips away from where I thought I was closing it. It closed 8 pips away. Why do you think that happens?
Price was actually there, but you just couldn't see.
Yeah, that's it. Price was there. On the live, that was where the price really was. But the demo, because it's a demo server, there's often a lag. And that's because there are some things that I've seen some reasons why they've denied. I'm not naming names. It's definitely not the one that. This is a completely different prop account that I've heard. They've denied payouts because the person was using like an arbitrage, like trading from a real account, real server, and then trading on the demo server, which is a few seconds behind, and they caught wind of that.
That's what arbitrage is.
Well, it's used 2 different charts to get a price, but there's all different ways of arbitrage.
Yes. Okay.
Some people will do it with gold and gold futures, and you'll buy one and sell the other, and the difference in like when you need to have it. Like I don't think it would work on prop accounts because you usually need to be like very, very quick on the trigger. So like high frequency, but you can buy one and sell the other.
Traders who are good on the trigger.
I mean, like it's not the user. That's the thing. It's the you need to have a broker that has like very quick latency, because otherwise when you put your order in and it gets caught in the bottle with all these other orders, and then you get you get placed in the queue to go through into the like where the trade will be put on. So if you're doing all this high frequency trading, putting all these orders in very quickly, but then once it's in the system and it gets caught in this bottleneck, then there's nothing you can do about it, and you'll always get slipped to a bad price or whatever, and they'll deny you payouts. But if you've got like a broker that's ECN and they don't actually make profit from you losing, then some of them allow arbitrage. But they don't. Most of them don't like it, because what it is, there's so many trades as well that it can like really overwhelm the system if they haven't got much hardware sort of to support their trader network. All right, so no real manipulation just yet. No real pause in the 5 minute. We're just seeing. Oh, look at that. Very quick little move that one, eh? You see that? It's like 9 pips in the second. I don't like those little fast moves. The false moves generally. What's it? In my view, before that push up on the 5 minutes, you clearly see accumulation consolidation. So that push up is the manipulation, waiting for the distribution to the downside. Mustafa, are you waiting for like a internal structure shift, are you? To see like when the distribution has happened, but then start looking for the downside? Yeah, it looks like it's just collecting orders still. So when it's collecting orders, I think there's probably going to be a sweep still. I think a lot of people probably complicate trading as well, like trying to watch price to see, to try pick like where it's going to go next, rather than when I say, okay, let me elaborate further. You complicate a lot of people complicate things by trying to pick where it's going to go next, and then have a sell bias or bullish bias. But then, if say you got a selling bias and price doesn't go down now, we'll get like impatient, and then as it keeps on sort of failing and breaking higher, it's very quick for people to switch bias and start looking for longs right at the wrong time. But if you just stick to one bias and just say, look, I'm just gonna wait for a sell setup or a buy setup, and from your sell setup, you just got to look for a sell setup at a zone and what the price action is that gets you into that trade, and then just be patient enough to wait and sit. And if you don't get it, you don't get it. But if you're flexible on your bias, looking for longs, looking for sells, then you're kind of not really committing to one or the other. And I find that way you'll probably just you'll take an entry without as much discipline if your bias is not set at the start. Now you can change your bias. I'm not saying you can't change it, but it's like get to a level that you're very confident what you're seeing, that you can change your bias quite flexibly. Otherwise, try to stick with one bias and either be wrong on your bias and take a loss on it. It's better to do that rather than taking a loss with not having a bias, or even worse, making a profit without a clear plan, because that's not you're not progressing then. Got lucky, so to speak. You can get lucky over and over and over and over, but you'll never be able to have like the full confidence to go like to start increasing volume. Now break above 304 for buys. I'm still cautious of this level, and because we haven't swept the London low yet, I would rather, me personally, I'll be rather waiting for that to be hit. The 5 minute, it kind of, man, it's kind of crappy here. So we know that the first 20 minutes of London can give you like a 20 pip move. In this case, like there was no clear reason for me to take that buy, but this was that little, there was the 33 pip move. So the next move will come in towards the end of the hour. So most of the time, not all the time, but this first opening hour will give you, say, on average, between 60 to 80 pips. So what I'm looking for is price to either just get to the end and show us which direction it's been pushing, and then at around like 8:45, when I normally get that coffee, we normally see that 20 pip correction or 30 pip correction. So I'm keen to wait for that as well if it's in 20 minutes. If we sweep that high, there's a FVG on the hourly time frame. Let's have a look. Oh, don't do it now. All the way at the top. Yeah, that's the danger. Yeah, this week the opening hour was rubbish. Range in, yeah. This I haven't enjoyed the open this week. Doesn't mean we stick to our, we just keep on doing the same thing over and over. We're going to have weeks like this for sure. I think some people would have loved this week. Some people would have had a really, really good week. But for me, the better moves came in New York. I found the London actually quite difficult myself. I think what's annoying as well, I've got plenty of trades that got a start and got to like decent profit, but there's nothing continued on, and that was awful. Come on, now it's coming down. Damn it. So if you have a look at the opening period for London, we had just like yesterday for the first 3 candles, 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 90 minutes were more or less inside of this area, and that's kind of like getting to the end of the stream then at 9:30. So it kind of just went sideways. That was yesterday's. Then the nice move came. The day before, I was trying to take that sell down to break into this zone. Just never gave it properly. So it just corrected off of here and then pushed up. So it got a little sell in there. That was the only nice move where price pushed up into this zone. Wasn't sure which zone it was gonna react from, and then finally it reacted from this gap up here, and then we got like at least a decent little move down. But then the rest of the week, so that was Wednesday, and then Tuesday. Look at Tuesday. Tuesday was awful, and Monday was good. Monday was a good day actually. Price pushed up, and then we just nice clean move down. But then Tuesday happened, and then Wednesday just never got the follow through. Thursday, yesterday, twice, try to sell, nothing. And now today, no top wick, no bottom wick, just push straight up. Got some good ideas for later on though. So after, when it's just the members, we'll go over them. We've got a couple currency pairs as well, and then we've got a couple ideas for German. I think I like your area, Glenn, that you're pointing out. This London high, New York 50%. I think that's going to be my zone. If we get price action from here.
I'm thinking this 30 minutes going to be a wick fill after it's created the bottom wick. Might even take out that bottom. There it is there.
Did anyone get the sells?
Yeah, I did.
'Cause that was the rejection wick. Who said that then?
I did. I got 15 pips.
Oh, Chris. Yeah, Chris M.
Yeah, I also got it.
Oh, nice one. Yeah, well, the setup for me, like if I would have liked from a visual optics perspective, I would have liked this candle to have been a little bit more of a doji, and then I've taken it up. Like then this one wicked up and got in. Kind of hate it when it gives me this like barcode formation. Yeah, it wasn't quite clear to me either. And it's just been drifting. Come on, man. If we can just keep on like doing this drift down, then it's creating a lot of this like trend line liquidity as well. So once you got like a clear area down here, and then price is sort of pushing up and then pushing up, you can, like, I know you're missing the bulk of the move, but closing back above here, it will easily take out that London high. What's France doing? Same rubbish. Yeah. Remember what I was saying about stocks yesterday after the stream? I've got to post that little video because we re-recorded it. But talking about like how Amazon, Apple had a little bit of bad news with the tax, or Apple got a slap on the wrist, that Microsoft, and that how they're all like having one that has bad news is usually contagious for a lot of the stocks. So we saw Tesla have a big drop, Microsoft drop a little bit, Amazon drop, and Apple drop. Even just these to post a negative, like even a slightly negative number, you're going to see US indices significantly decline. So we saw that move. So we see, like, you know, when you see negative news coming out, even if it's in London pre New York, there will be a little bit of a sell-off. And in that, if one of those big seven are involved, that's why they do get on the news. You'll see a bearish session. And then if you can anticipate a bearish session in the US indices, that normally that will follow through with some of these other, well, at least for the session, for these European indices as well. UK 100 went down due to good numbers. UK 100 went up yesterday, and that's because pound went down a little bit. So when pound goes down, that's actually good for the UK 100. Oh, today. Yeah. Good GDP means the UK market will go down. Or initially saw that drop. And why, people might ask? Why? So UK 100 is correlated with the pound. So because most of the UK 100 businesses that are listed on the stock exchange are actually overseas. So if pound, when they make their money overseas and then convert to pounds, if it's a weak pound, those profits will convert to more pounds. So that's more so a weaker pound will see the UK 100 actually rise. If the pound is actually strong, when those profits from overseas come back into the country, into the UK, if the pound is higher, those profits will translate to less pounds, so less revenue. Yeah, that's it, Nick. Did you? No, my idea missed it. It just missed, literally just. It was a bit of a pain. I'm keeping my eye on German, waiting for it to see if it sweeps up into this high. So this was the idea. I was looking for it to drop further into this zone. It missed it by about 10 pips. So it was an easy miss. And then it rallied. The US CAD was the one that sucked last night. That one was close as. So that idea missed by 3 pips, and then it rose. It would have been a nice little move. That one was based on. Yeah, it would have. So because I was looking at these. Okay, I might as well talk about this one now then as well. Kind of gave it away. So I was looking at this, these candles here. So this being my support, this wick, and this one. But then you've got this third one here as well. So really, the support was.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I know. So that was where it went. I had my eye on this one. Because like I wanted my stop loss to be under the euro low, to give it like a few sessions just in case it like does penetrate, because I didn't want to think about this one, but it like that was the support. So yeah, plus we've got this like area over to the left, so I thought, you know, if we're kind of breaking into it, we could push down. Now today's one, thinking that what is this a liquidity grab? If that's a liquidity grab, this wick looks like a liquidity candle on the higher time frame. So if I look at like the 4 hour, it's not quite like a liquidity wick. But now I'm thinking that if this candle here, what about the 3 hour? No, 6 hour? No, it's just the wick on the 4 hour. So now I'm looking to see if it can like push down into this one. So that's my idea. So I'm going to watch it as it comes down. Got an alert set here and an alert set here. And then if this was a liquidity grab, dip into that liquidity again, and then let us push up and then fill this clean range. And then I'm targeting this liquidity wick. So that's my idea for that I was going to give to you guys after the stream. My members anyway. For US CAD. Being Friday though is kind of tricky because you can't really let it. Well, I guess these are kind of like, they are wider stop losses. So yeah, sorry about Marin. I was so hard with the baby, to trying to really get into a schedule with her, but her schedule kind of rules everything. When she's asleep, I need to let mum have a break. She let me have a sleep last night because I've been battling this headache all week. Just sleep, and my eyes are going funny. But would that only be a matter of reporting dates, financial statements, etc.? No, that'll be like for like when they're reporting earnings. But also for the UK 100, the value of the shares will, the value of the businesses will be changing constantly. And this is like when you're trading UK 100, the pair correlation is this. So UK 100 could actually not move whatsoever. But then if the pound strengthens, then this valuation, this number here, is based in pounds. Not actually like seven, like they have like a conversion and things like that, the way that they schedule it. But UK 100 business actually doesn't need to move for price to have that volatility going up and down if it's one-sided, because this is why we always trade pairs, is that it might not be UK 100 doing anything. You know, like in Asian session, you wouldn't expect UK 100 to move if the business isn't really moving, like they're not reporting new stats, new numbers. But in Asian session, we'll see price move, and that will be simply through the valuation of pound.
That's taken that imbalance candle on my
Has it?
Hayden,
It took the high, did it?
on the 15.
This is a double top from line.
Hasn't
clicking.
taken mine.
Yeah, different brokers though, different
No.
different price. To me, it
Alright.
wasn't even, didn't even break the high.
30.
No.
No, equal high, sorry. It was equal with the on mine.
Mm-hmm.
It was that close, though, bloody.
Oh gosh, why this London session suck, man?
Don't
What?
use, mate.
Why this week? I'm gonna get a coffee. How about that?
Sell.
H1 looks like negation candle. Let's have a look at that. I still need to take out this bottom wick. 35 pip, 300. Sorry, what's this? 350 pip London. What are you talking about there, man? Oh, 35. Yeah, yeah. It's when you've got news on the agenda, it's so much better. It's so much better. When you don't have any news, it's almost grim to come into the charts because they've got to generate that liquidity. So it can just takes time for them to like position themselves and order it, get into it. So I think part of trading is having that discipline as well, just to not feel like you need to be in a trade all the time if it's just not there, or if you're unsure. Like if you went through a day and you didn't take a trade, or if you looked back at your week and you thought, oh, you know what, I took 5 trades that kind of didn't fit the plan and they were losing trades. If you hadn't taken those trades, you would have been up. Let's say you took 5 trades that weren't part of the plan and it just wasn't clean and you just forced it because you had nothing to show for your day, and you ended up being, let's say, minus 5%. You think about it as well. It's not like you would have been break even for the week, but if you didn't take those trades, you would have been 5% better for that week. So it would have been a 5% week had you not taken those trades, the ones that don't fit the plan. So it's super important to like just also try, like I know most people can take a winning trade eventually, but it's the losing ones that sabotage the results. I think a part of like I didn't think I got better at entering trades, but I got better at avoiding taking lost trades. Opinion of UJ. I had that one on my list. I've got an order on there, so I might as well give that one out as well, guys. I've given out a few already. What did I remove this one? Oh, I removed this one. No, oh, it's down here. No, that was a different one. I must have removed it. I had a, oh no, sorry. It was for Euro yen and Pound yen and Kiwi yen. All but US yen. You look into it. I guess there's no reason. As long as they've got that weak policy, you're looking to fill this wick. Oops, gosh. We're looking like we're going to make a new yearly high. Unless they do anything about it, their policy. So you'd be wanting to, like, you can't buy here. Price is so extended, but buy into the pullbacks. So where you got structured pullbacks, anytime you see like a nice drop, it makes sense to clean that candle up. And that's it's kind of what did be this week with German. Oh, look at this! I was fully expecting for us to fill this candle before we can go up, and this never happened. And then that kind of ruined everything for me. But you know, you got to go long. Just buy into the pullbacks. Don't buy the highs. Okay. So I faked out the chart, said I was going to go for a coffee. No top wick. 30 minutes looking awful. One hour is looking awful. Tweezer tops, yeah. So now this 45-minute candle's got no top wick as well. So no bottom wick here, no top wick on that one. It's only just opened as well though.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just in the middle of no man's land. Kind of just going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Well, I'll go get a coffee then. So I'll be back in a few minutes.
Each one should have a wick now. Bottom wick.
What time frame, Glenn?
H1.
Yep.
I'm not sure.
Oh, no, not on Hayden's.
So Pepperstone won't have a bottom wick yet. IC Markets does, ACG does. ACG only just had its bottom wick just then. IC Markets already had it a while ago.
Yeah, I've got a bottom wick on my broker.
That's Concepts one.
Yeah.
You on a tender or something, Rob? See you rocking around. So Pepperstone Hayden still doesn't have a bottom wick on the hourly. You muted, Hayden?
Oh, sorry, mate. I'm on mute.
Yeah, I could see your lips moving.
Yeah. Talking
Yep.
nothing.
Yep. So H1 still doesn't have a bottom wick on Pepperstone.
Yeah. Has it taken yours? Has it?
ACG, yes. IC markets, yes. And Tom was saying on his broker it does as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, that wasn't taking
Has
mine.
it? Have you got one on?
Trading Nut, guys. I'm going to close this stream down. I'm going to go over. I'll continue on my one. Haydos FX on YouTube. If you want to navigate over to there. All right. You can see a little over on the left hand side. Okay. So I'll see you over there. I'll close this one down. If not, have a great weekend, guys. I'll chat to you later. My people, stay on.
Yeah. 8 caps got a bottom wick.
Okay. That should hopefully let my computer not be so hot. All right.
Got any babysitting duties in the next hour or so, Hayden?
No, not for a little bit. I'm gonna keep on going. See if we can break this range. Then, if it's not, then I'll give the ideas for later on. There's no point taking a trade inside of this mess unless you're playing the range. What is on the agenda? Maddie, it's a nice day today, and I was sort of battling this headache yesterday, and I need to go to the shops. So I'm gonna take her for a little walk. Hopefully she behaves herself in the pram.
She'll love it, mate. She'll love it.
Yeah, I like the walks with her.
Yeah, beating down on babies is a bit frowned upon, isn't it?
What was that?
That's alright, being a smart ass, mate. Don't worry.
Oh, taking the low. Come on. FX Choice, I've never tried them. But they get their they're not they'll get their feed from somewhere. Okay. Are we going to finally take this low? Ours gonna close as like this little nothing candle, like a little needle.
Mm.
What I really want to see, I want to see this candle break this low, but then close back above it. Why would I want that to happen?
Information.
Yeah, it gives me a range. It gives me a clear range, and then can look to see like once we close outside of that range, I'll go that direction. I know it's ranging right now, but because I wouldn't trust the first close outside of it, because it could just be a fake out because we are ranging. But once you've got 2 rejection wicks on each side of the range, closing above the rejection wick gives you much better direction. Does that make sense? Just having something close outside of the range the first time, without rejection wicks. So visualize this. This candle could close underneath this range and give everyone indication that we keep on going down, and then say, because it's a 15-minute chart, then the next 15-minute candle might come back straight up. And then if we go to the 30-minute time frame, 30-minute time frame it'll just have looked like a rejection wick, something like that. But if you have if you've actually got a rejection wick, and then you can say this is my range with 2 rejection wicks on each side of the range. When you break and close below a rejection wick, then you can say, look, I've got a very good chance now. I'm breaking out of that range, and price can go down to like the next area, next zone. So preferably we reject from the downside, take in this liquidity, and then we close above here, because I think we've got a little bit more upside for this move, rather than if we close under here, then we've got Euro low, Asian low. We've only got like 20 pips underneath this level. Above this level to here, we've got about 45 pips. So we've got a little bit more room to the upside. It's just nicer if we have a rejection here, then close above this rejection wick. This is definitely a rejection wick, but we haven't got a bottom of the rejection wick. So really don't know just yet is this the range, or is the range going to be like this big? Because this could be fake out zone. But we took out London low finally. Hey Dan, how are you, mate? Oh, are you off today? You are off. Oh, let me know if you want to get a pint. Oh, you're just in the gym. Oh, okay. All right, 3 seconds. So we've got it. We've got it. We've got the range. Oh, you're up for the pint, George? Sounds good, mate. We'll meet halfway somewhere. Somewhere like Birmingham. Okay, so if this is the range, then we want to see a 15-minute candle close outside of it, and it's not a great entry. These close outside range continuation, they're not good entries, as in like risk reward. Who was it that was asking? Someone asked. I'm not sure if I think it was. Do I have criteria on closing? Moving to break even.
That was yesterday, wasn't it?
Someone, no, I read it this morning. I believe it was, and I can't remember who it was, the name. But generally, it's if I'm more than 20 pips, I really don't want to take a loss on it. So generally, that would be the. Oh no, it was a comment. It was a comment on the YouTube on the video. I think it was Jeff, wasn't it? It was Jeff. Yeah, like if it hurts. It hurts like being up 20 pips and actually taking a loss on it. I'd rather just take, if I'm up 20 pips, I don't like seeing it break even, but and it sucks when it retests the entry and then drops. And then like, so say like I take a trade, I'm up 20 pips, I move it to break even, comes up, stops me out, and then drops. Like that hurts. What hurts more is if it goes like that and just ends up being a loss. So I'll generally move it to break even, or the other option that I'll do, I don't do it all the time. It depends on how mentally fresh, or if I'm just feeling I don't really want to make a decision or a hard decision, I'll just move it to break even and say I'm done, I've made my decision. But the other way of doing it is like, rather than moving to break even, is if price comes up back to your entry, if it rejects, now it becomes your hard stop loss. And if it comes back again, look, so be it. Now it's break even, but at least you give it a chance to retest once and then drop. If it closes back above your entry, then maybe you just want to close it at a small loss if it's closing above your entry or not showing any signs of rejection. Like, you can let it close above your entry, but say the next candle wicks down and then starts leaving a bottom wick and then starts pushing up and breaking the high of the previous candle, you probably should just close it for a small loss, because then it's likely to go to your stop loss. So there's never, I've said it so many times, there's never a perfect way to manage trades, and it's usually everyone's Achilles heel. So you're more profitable just to leave all your trades going and just say this is going to be a win or it's going to be a loss. You're probably, if you're actually consistent with your zones, you'll be more profitable that way. You will have more losses, but you will have more wins, bigger wins, rather than this kind of slow death where you get heaps of entries, heaps of break evens, some losses, some wins, but mostly break evens. Depends on your if you're with a prop account, I think you need to manage your risk. That's the biggest thing you need to do is manage your risk on a prop account. On your personal account, you're probably more profitable. Just it's going to be a win or lose. We don't have that luxury on prop accounts, unfortunately. You take, say, like 3-4 losses in a row, then you're going to start trading differently mentally. Gosh, so slow. What's UK 100 is moving alright. Like, at least you can see the change, down 0.5%. VIX is VIX finally got a bit of volatility. Other than that, we're just dropping. Generally, when VIX, this is your volatility index. Generally, when that's dropping, that's good for stocks. When it's rising, the volatility meter is getting higher. That means that there's more fear in the market. So that's usually bad for stocks. Is anyone still holding the sells they got into earlier?
No, man.
No? Yeah, it's been awful. Awful day.
To be honest, I was expecting a bigger bounce from there, but that's all.
From here?
Yeah.
It's done your little... I thought you were been just staying for sells. It's done your, the old Regan Stewart.
Hmm.
Trend reversal pattern.
Double top.
Broke structure, very slightly.
Now I did, yeah. Depending on how you stretch out your chart, it did that. You know, broke structure, retested the neckline, and then it's continued.
Mm-hmm. Okay, coming down to Asian high. London 50% as well. What's one thing you learnt today, guys? I think there's a good one here. We'll cover two things. One is if London opens with no wick, it very rarely happens that it doesn't get retested. So it's very rare for a London session to open and then just never ever come back to that low. So if it does open and go straight up, you can look for sells back down, or be careful taking buys because you know that sell move will happen to come back and create a London low. That's one thing. Another thing for people like backtest and stuff as well, that if you have a London session which is bullish or bearish, so let's just say bearish London session, and New York is just before New York Stock Exchange opens, the New York Stock Exchange, not the New York Open, but if New York Stock Exchange is opening and you're below the London low and it's a bearish session, then New York will do a pullback. So same thing here, like this is the London session, price is very bullish. New York opened, went up. New York Stock Exchange was opening here at this point. Then New York Stock Exchange, what they'll do is they will do a liquidity grab and pull back, because they won't buy the high. They might do a liquidity grab to the top side, but they'll have a pullback in it. It's very rare that you have London session bullish, New York session bullish, and then just never have that pullback. If we're very close to the London high and New York Stock Exchange is opening here, then you might have a pullback and then that continuation. But if you're quite far above the London high, New York Stock Exchange will go to the next liquidity and then do the pullback. That makes sense? Something to backtest. Okay, if this can manage to close outside of it, we've got no top wick. So I'd like to see the next candle kind of do something like this and then keep on driving down. So I'd like to plan those sells from like this area. I won't take a cowboy entry though. The price can come up and then we can get a bearish candle, then I'll look to take it down. That would be price pushed down, came back up, formed a resistance. 8 times out of 10, we'll retest this low. That would be like a 25 pip move. Also retesting this area. There's your liquidity candle. So I'm hoping to form like that. The double like the liquidity candle, and then a retest of the liquidity candle, and then just wait for a confirmation entry.
Frankfurt opened with no bottom wick as well on my feed.
Oh, okay, this one's got a little bit of a wick over here. So this is the German, the actual German low. I'm starting to get a little bit of distance now. Now we'll move 50 pips. From my reviews I've been doing as well, so often this week it never gave the retest. It started a lot of time. The move started with actually no wick. You notice that as well? So on the 3 minute, the move started with no top wick, just pushed straight down. Then on, it wasn't yesterday.
Yep.
It was the day before that here in New York. The move started with no wick, no top wick. And then in London, same thing. This move here started with no top wick. I kept on waiting for it to do the retest. And that's been a continuous trend. No top wick. Really annoying. Okay, 15 minutes come to a close. So clearly out of this range now. Now, it's kind of dropped a bit further than I wanted. Or I was really hoping it was just going to close like here. But hopefully it can still do this. Hopefully. In this next candle. That will give us a range of around 30 pips at least to retest this low. Something like that. All right, well, I'm going to end the YouTube. I'm going to go over the ideas for the rest of the session in case I do run out of time. All right, guys. So, YouTube people, have a great weekend. And here's some ideas there. Also put alerts for you guys. Put alerts up around this blue box, this 15,380, 15,432. Put some alerts under 15,130. Put an alert here at 15,000 as well. Look at what price does there. All right, so YouTube guys, I'll see you on Monday. My people, stay. I'll give the actual levels.